Hello, welcome to Ted's Fish Room. A few of the viewers have been asking me to put together a video of just the entire fish room and everything you can see here. Kind of give you a little tour as I go around the room. It's kind of snowy and nasty outside today, so I have some time to kill, so I thought that might be a good idea. Let's get to it. If you've been watching my website since it went up about 6 years ago, you might recognize this rack. This is actually the very first rack of aquariums that went into the room. It's made from a steel shelving unit you can get at Home Depot. The 6 40-gallon breeders were the first 6 aquariums I bought, and they've been in this position the entire time. They haven't moved. But the only thing that's changed is the filtration in them. Right now these aquariums are being used for a couple different things. Here is some of the plants I just got in this week. Some of the larger species of plants. I try to get all the plants that come in on imports into aquariums as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, I don't have as much space as I need to be able to do that. Here's this tank is being used right now as a holding aquarium. These are some Congo tetras I just got in. This is a great size, lovely fish. They came in really nice. This tank has got a breeding colony of Parananochromis brevirostris. See if I can zoom in and get a picture of some of these fish. There's one of the pairs. This is a nice fish that I brought back from Gabon last time I went out of country. The tank next door is a colony of Zoogeneticus tequila, but there's also some young Pelvichromis pulchra growing up in there. I don't mind mixing these two species because the little cichlids don't bother the live bearer fry, and the live bearers can be a little picky on each other, so giving these small cichlids in there kind of keeps them from getting too nasty on each other. Another one of the early aquarium racks that I put up probably about 5 years ago. This is my fry rack. Of course, it's being used for holding all kinds of things right now. It's got some Danios nigrofasciatus that I got on an order. It's got some rainbows that are growing out. Yellow emperor tetras. That's where I keep my breeders until I'm ready to spawn them. The second row has got small tanks for spawning fish. This tank has got some fry of Chromitid Kingsley. This tank has got some very, very small fry. You're not going to be able to see them with this camera at this point. This is more yellow emperor tetras. This tank has got some baby Corydoras catfish. You might be able to see one kind of poking around right there in the front of the glass. And here, this is a tank of Aspidoris albeater. I've been trying to get these to spawn. I think they spawn all the time, but I haven't been able to get fry. This tank is kind of cool. This has got Autothriopsis pyrabui. See, there's an adult back there along the glass. It's an Autocinclus type catfish, and they've been spawning pretty regularly. Lots of fry. Here's a young one that was born in this tank. Here's another young one pumping around the bottom. There we go. There's some mono shrimp that came in on this last order. So what else we got down here? Oh, this down here, I bought these as a Pistogramma species Goldhead Agassiz, but it turned out to be steel blue, but it's an awfully nice one. Pretty good size. It's a hybrid. No one knows exactly where these fish came from, but it's about the only Pistogramma you can find in many stores these days. They're pretty. Not a wild type, but they're pretty. Let's see what else we got. Okay, this is one of the newer racks. This is 6 20 longs, faced end out, underneath a 50 breeder. The 50 breeder is home to a pair of Pelvichromis sacromontis. Here's the female right here, digging into plants. And also some African red-eye tetras and a few guppies. These 20 longs have mostly become holding tanks. This tank has got African fire barbs. These are some really nice black ruby barbs that just came in. These are spectacular. I can't wait to pull some breeders out of this group. They're going to look great. There's some boteas and some rasboras. Down here is my spawning pair of Pelvichromis taeniatus maliwe. They have some fry right now. Here's a tank full of Sowilia loaches and Zodiac loaches. The Zodiac loaches just came in. They look great. Neat animal. See, this rack over here Looks kind of like the original rack, but the stands are all different. Originally this was a vertical rack, now it's a stair step rack. The stands all came from the 2010 ACA convention, and this particular rack holds a lot of different types of fish in it. Some of them for breeding, some are holding, some are just used for raise and fry. This tank has got some rose batis, Batis singenensis. See if I can zoom in on one there. And all these Farlowellas, these were gifted to me by Ingo Zeidel when I went to Germany last year. And if Ingo sees this, you can see how nice and big your Royal Farlowellas have gotten. They're pretty close to spawning size. Thank you very much. Neat fish. This is Pethia bangula, the bangula barb. Pretty rare barb. I was glad to get these, and they came in, they were a lot smaller, so they're starting to grow up and get a little bit of color. They get just as red, or if not redder, as a black ruby barb. Kind of think of them as a dwarf black ruby barb. Neat animal. This is the Indian dwarf green barb, the Pethia futino. This tank has got the Stiphodon percnopterygowinus, the yellow and black Stiphodon. I don't see any males showing off in here right now. It's also got some different plants in it. This is Cryptocurrent parva. This is Cryptocurrent tonkinensis. There's Cryptocurrent pontederifolia. There's Cryptocurrent blasi back there in the very back. These fish just came in on Monday. These are Emerald Rasboras, Microdanio, or Microrasbora, I guess it's Microdanio erythromicron, and then also Scarlet Batis, the Batis bengalensis. Nice little Batis in there. Oh, here you can see a bunch of them against the glass. Great color, neat little fish. So I can get the light over top of them a little better. This is a colony of Lemia nigrofasciatus, one of my favorite live bearers. Here's a male showing off versus female, trying to spawn. This tank has got the lipstick barb, Pethia erythromicter. Not a whole lot of these left. I'll keep about 12 of them for spawning group. Here are some of my Dravidia fasciolatus, the melon barb. These are all fry born here. I'll show you the adults in just a minute. This is a colony of Caracodon lateralis Los Barros. I give them a nice big tank because they're a little bit picky on each other. These are my planted photo tanks. I'm doing a little experiment. See how they do. I got some new lights. This is a compact fluorescent that's in a shaded fixture, so it's not quite as bright. This is the same spectrum, almost the same bulb in a different kind of fixture, so it's a little brighter. And then this is a 5,000 Kelvin LED light. And kind of give you an idea looking at them, you can see how bright this section of the aquarium is underneath that LED, but I'm not convinced it's the right spectrum to grow plants. This is pretty bright underneath that middle bulb, and then this over here is not quite as bright. So kind of interesting. I hope that these lights can be conduced to grow some plants. They're very good for photography. When I take pictures of this aquarium, especially with this LED light, the pictures come out looking great. Let's see what else we got. Okay, I have 4. The biggest aquariums in my fish room are these 75-gallon aquariums. These I've been working on, so they're kind of dirty right now. This is a pair of Chromitid Guntheri volta. It's got some of my Bozemanite rainbows, and my Danio patharina in there. They all look so heavy because they've been fed really, really heavily today. So they're all kind of fat. Down here are I got some clown loaches in, look pretty good. But then I also am growing out some nice barb. This is Dawkinsia exclamatio, the exclamation point barb from India. There's also my breeder Dravidia fasciolatus in there, the melon barbs. The male, there he is, he's in with the clown loaches. There's one of his females. Actually, that's another male. And then there's 2 females in there with him. But all those babies I showed you earlier are the offspring of that big male and one of those two females. Unfortunately, I don't have space for all the plants I get in on these orders. So for a couple of days, the plants have to sit in bins. I do rotate the plants quite a bit so they all get some sunlight. Some pretty cool stuff came in. There's some nice bacopa. There's some nice wisteria, variegated. Here's some different types of balasnerias and limnophilias. Lots and lots of plants right now. Get them while they're hot. Probably too many. Okay, here's the lights are on now so you can see the fry rack. It's worked out pretty well. I've discovered that I don't leave the fry in here as long as I would have normally. They're only staying here for about a month, and then I move them into larger aquariums. They tend to grow better that way. This is my vat for my RO system. Okay, so I fill it up with reverse osmosis water when I need it. Here's my reverse osmosis system. See, and there's my sink. Here's my pile of crap. Everybody has a pile of crap in their fish room. This is a pair of Gelitochromis transcriptus pimba. And you can see some of their fry. And then this is Gelitochromis ornatus. And they have a lot of fry. And up here, this is the true Hemachromis cristatus. Very happy to have this fish, but I need to get some pairs separated so they'll spawn. There's a little female that really wants to spawn. And then down here in this tank, it's kind of dirty, but let's see, there's a Crinocara punctulatum pair. There's the big male. And there's a few tetras and pencilfish, various varieties. There's some coral reds, Morton thayeri. There they go. And then there's, in here, if I get them to come out, are several Ivanocara adakita. Usually if I tap on the tank they'll come out, but they're kind of shy today apparently. If I threw some food in there, they come right out. And then here's some more new fish that came in. This is Danio chiathet, the orange fin Danio. Good looking fish. And then here are some melon barbs, because the ones I'm growing up just aren't growing fast enough and people would like to get some nice melon barbs. These came in looking very nice. Good size. Over here, oh, this tank right here, it's empty. Supposedly someday that's going to be a reef tank. We'll see. And then here's a workstation. There's all my chemicals I don't use a whole lot of. There's all my specimen cuts, which I use a lot of. And this is where I hatch brine shrimp. And this is where I keep most of my foods that can stay warm. And then I have a fridge for everything that cannot stay warm. Here's my heat sealer. For those of you who gotten fish from me and seen my heat sealed bags, that's how I do it. And then the last aquariums in the fish room that we haven't seen. This is my West African community. That is Chromitid Kingsley, showing off right now. Brought those back from Gabon a couple years ago. And some tetras and some plants. And then down here, this tank is kind of a catch-all tank at the moment. There is a nice pair of Hemachromis lipholili. And there's a female back there. She's guarding some fry. She's kind of hard to see right now. And then there's some Chromitid melaniae that are very old and they look it. And then there's a few extra odds and ends, some Palmatochromis butycophori right there. This tank is in need of some help. Get some work done. It has a nice lotus in it though. Real nice lotus. But that's pretty much it. That's Ted's Fish Room in a nutshell. Kind of get up here on the stairs. See if I can give you another kind of a bird's eye view. So that is where all the magic happens. That is all the different tanks I have. Hope you enjoyed the tour.